Hello and welcome to my latest weekly video news from Madison's. Well, Rightmove have produced their latest house price index data and it's all looking good. House prices are up on average 1.8% this month. That is a huge rise and is perhaps reflecting that lag to get this spring market going. The market has been very slow to get going in terms of a normal busy spring market. It has felt a bit cold and damp. Better though than was forecast from last year, but now feeling like a really booming spring market. That lower and mid price point doing really well, average of 57 days to get sold in that price point. Agents reported consistently that the best results are found from those sellers who go to market realistically first time. They will get the best ultimate result without doing too many price reductions. And the most challenging sector of the market remains that upper sector, anything above kind of 1.3 million. I'm not finding that actually. I would say that sector is very strong for my business. Indeed, most of my instructions at that level I don't even take to market. So managed to attract a buyer privately. So yeah, that's not what we're seeing. In the southeast, the figures stand at an average house price of £494,000, a 2.3% average monthly increase, and a year on year so far at 1.3. That's obviously reflecting that drop that we saw at the back end of last year as well. So all the dials looking good. The latest base rate rise hasn't made too much of a difference. Definitely feeling like spring has sprung and all looking good. And you might be thinking spring has sprung. I am dressed quite casually today, and that's because I'm off to the Chelsea Flower Show. I love going there every year. It's one of my absolute happy places. It's just such a fabulous, fabulous place to be and hang out and get inspiration for gardens. Gardens are such an important part of selling your home. Whether it's big or small, you need to make the most of it that you possibly can. If you've got a big garden, best not to go to market in the winter. It can all look a bit depressing. Wait until that asset really comes into bloom and you can really present it well. If you've got a small garden, that will probably sell in any season, to be honest. Doesn't really matter whether it's warm or in the winter months, but make it look the very best it can. When you've got a small garden, you've got to distract your buyer from thinking, oh, this is a small garden, and make it look lovely. Zone it, create seating, really do good bedding. You can spend a lot of money in a small garden and it can go a long way. So yeah, I quite like a small garden personally. Big gardens, they're lovely when your kids are younger, but as they get older, it's just money or time, depending on whether you want to let go completely rack or ruin. So gardens such an important part. I love looking at the show gardens. I noticed on Rightmove there was a feature actually, Dermot Gavin. There's a property that he designed the garden for that is for sale at the moment. Now this is my cup of tea all day long. Look at this glorious property. It's in East Bridgeford. Just outside in Nottinghamshire, 1.55 million, on with the modern house, of course, who else? 6 bedrooms. It actually won the Telegraph's Contemporary House of the Year award in 2002. It's got 4,330 square foot, 2 stories, and they particularly like those full height glass walls that you've got. So that is an example of a really, really great garden, as you can see there, but a beautiful property to embrace that garden. It just all works very, very well. Your garden needs to work with your property. It needs to feel like an extension of it. And they've got another feature. Do look into that feature on Rightmove. They're looking at the best spring gardens. So I just noticed that one because it had the word Chelsea and Dermot Gavin in the title. Some great houses that I have got with gardens. Well, how about this one? Willows, that's a lovely, generous property. A big garden in Brenchley. Example of a good big garden. Bayhall Lodge, this is a great example of a property with right in the town centre, but with a fabulous large garden. Frank Court, this is a good one. This has got really extensive communal gardens. So if you don't want to have the upkeep and hassle of a big garden, this one is perfect for you. It's 9 acres of glorious communal grounds. Meadow Barn, this is an example of really good structured planting that you can have in a garden, embracing those far-reaching views. And what about this one, New Lodge West? It's got a lovely, lovely courtyard-style garden. It's got a bigger garden as well, but this is the courtyard that leads off from the main kitchen. And this is an example of landscaping really well a small space. So all nice gardens that I've got on my books. Any of those of interest, do give me a call. Well, I'm going to head off, get the train, go to Chelsea, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.